Rezensionen, Emotionen, Videos bloggen und mal loggen. Seit 10 Jahren spielen Narren, lebt dreimal hoch, Klickenabend.
Hallo Klickenabendler, wir sind in Essen. Next to me is Eric M. Lang. Hi Eric.
Guten Tag, hello.
You have a new game with you, but it's not here at the fair. It will come out, I think, next year, right?
Yeah, Q2 2017.
Q2 2017, okay. It's called The Godfather, the board game, and there's a guy on the cover which
You may or may not have heard of.
Yeah, I heard of him, and I watched him in the movies. So it's about the trilogy of the films?
It is about the first movie. In fact, it's about the first Godfather movie that takes place over 4 acts in the first movie, where from the beginning, the wedding scene, until the very end when Don...
Okay.
I hope that's not a spoiler, but it's been 40 years.
The movie's very old, so it shouldn't be.
If you haven't seen the movie, please watch it. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's great.
So this, it is one of my favorite movies. So the goal here, it was such a joy to get the opportunity to work on this. So I wanted to do something that was essentially my love letter to Scorsese. So hopefully this is the game that will make you feel like you are a mafia boss trying to work under Don Corleone while he is still alive. The goal of the game is that you guys are the other families, and you have thugs and dons and consiglieres, and where you guys are trying to run a really efficient money laundering operation and earn the most money before after the don goes. And whoever has the most money will win at the end.
Will be the next Don.
Will be the next, exactly right. And of course, as a mob boss, it's not easy being a mob boss. It is all about money. You have to make difficult decisions about how to manage everything, your people, your jobs, everything. But remember, it's always about money. The dilemma in the game is that the money that you earn from taking your thugs and putting them on businesses to shake down, to gain new items, to gain illegal goods, to finish cool jobs in the movie, or to just earn money, all of that goes into your hand. That all cards, jobs, money, this all funnels into your hand. However, the money that you have is not worth anything. Dirty money. You have to find a way to funnel it, to clean it, and to launder it and put it in your suitcase. Only money in the suitcase counts at the end of the game. Everything else does not. So even if you make tons and tons of money during the course of the game, you have to find a way to get it in there, or you're just going to waste it. Also, at the end of each of the 4 acts, if you have more than 5 or later 6 cards in your hand, you have to pay all the rest of them as tribute to the Don. So you have to be very efficient in how you manage your money.
I see. And do we have also other guys like Michael and stuff like that in the game?
Not in this game. No. The likeness we have is of Marlon Brando. We have the other character. We put him all over the game. We did insert some of our own mafia families in here also to update it a little bit as well, to make it a little bit more modern. So there's more, there are really cool, powerful female characters in the game, and there's some minorities in there as well.
Okay. And when it is my turn? How do I manage my cards?
Okay, so every round there will be 5 steps. So remember, there's only 4 rounds. The first thing you do is you open a new business that will go onto the board. After that, all players will take turns doing what I call thug placement. It's the shakedown phase. So one at a time, the player beginning with the player who has the horse head token, that's the first player token, will choose any business that they want to shake down with one of their thugs. So you'll pick one of these and say, for example, I'll just take your turn for you if you don't mind. You'll take one of these and go, all right, I have a really cool job, for example, in my hand, drive-by shooting that requires 2 guns. So I think I'm going to go over here, I'm going to shake that down, I'm going to take a gun. You take the reward from there, it goes into your hand, exactly like that. Then you would go and you will do something, you will also pick a business out here. There's one of your figures is a Don. Now, I must say this is a prototype. This is not final components. the final components that the thugs will have square bases, the dons will have a circular base. The thugs have square bases, they go here. The don, which we'll say is, say this guy, they have special rules. They actually shake down entire areas. So they go over in one of these areas here. Let's say you shake down this area, they get the back end of every business and every area that they touch. So they're much more powerful, and they also influence all those regions. So if I, for example, place the don here, you would get a gun, you would get a new job, and you would get 2 opportunities to suitcase money. So you just take the money literally and you put it in your suitcase. That's how that would work. And then, so for example, we'll just fast forward a little bit. You took booze and you took money and you stole the horse head, which means you'll be the first player next turn. Of course, there's a horse head, right?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. After all of that is done, look, I cheated for you. I didn't give you as many actions. Everybody will at that point will have had money in their hand. They could also have finished jobs instead of placing a thug. So let's say, for example, I play Muscle It Out. I have to pay 1 money card, and then I suitcase this job, and I get a cool ability. Muscle Out is move any figure to a new space. They don't get the ability. So there's a lot of very Godfather-ish types jobs where that let you interact more with the map and each other, right? There's cool stuff like car bombs or extortion that pulls stuff out of people's suitcases or blows up locations. When you gun people down, this is very important. You have to take their figure and you have to put them face down in the river so you can sleep with the fishes. Don't worry, you get new ones next round. But you take them off the board. Once all of this is done, then there's something called turf war. Each region, we count the influence of each region, so that's how many thugs and dons that are touching the area. If any player has a clear majority in that region, they actually take control of that region. It's now their turf. They take one of their control markers, not final component, and they'll put it there to say, now I own this region. In the future, any player who wants to shake down that business has to also pay tribute to the player who owns it. So if I, for example, in the future, if you put somebody there, you would get a job, but so would you, because it's, you know, you got to pay tribute to the father there. So that's it. After turf war is settled, then you do a bidding phase. Now there are very powerful characters that come out every round. They're separated by acts. They tell you right here. You shuffle them up and you put X number of them in play, depending on how many players there are. Let's say, for example, in a 2-player game, there's only 1. There's always 1 less, so there's a chance that you get nothing. In this case, the small-time bookie is up. He's a powerful ability that he'll go into your hand and gives you a new powerful ability that, in addition to playing thugs or addition to playing jobs, you get to do every single act. His ability is that for each turf you control, you add $1 to your suitcase right away. So it's really powerful and also lets you stall and delay. You guys are now going to bid for him, and so each person simultaneously will take any number of money that they want from their suitcase, and they'll stick it there, and they'll bid simultaneously. When you're ready, you reveal. The player who bid the most gets that, puts that in their hand. The player who, in a multiplayer game, whoever bid the second most gets the second one choice, third one. The last one gets nothing, but they get their money back. Then you have that character. That character is now part of your hand forever, and now you have that cool power, and then that's it. Then you move on, do another round. Each act, something new happens. The acts are actually after the movie. So in the next act, you go, there's the Turk. The Turk comes into play, who is the other powerful mob boss, and then you unlock your consigliere, which gives you another Don to play with, so you get a little bit more powerful. After that,
Sunny's murder, where machine guns to the car.
That's right, and then that's when the Godfather in the movie, when wow, look at these spoilers, when the Godfather said like, oh, all right, it's all right that maybe we have to expand our businesses and we have to start allowing other goods to be. So now we bring the red businesses, the more powerful ones, into play. Some of them which can give you, 2 suitcases every time you go in, right? Or you can get a particular type of illegal good, which you may not be able to say on, but these are awesome goods that count as everything.
Okay.
And then finally, the last one, after the betrayal, you unlock your heir, or Sonny. You unlock your heir, and then only 2 cards in your hand will count. Everything else is thrown away. At the end, whoever has the most money wins, after a small number of bonuses for jobs and for turf war. That's it.
That's it.
I want to make it as streamlined as I can, but it's a pretty deep game. There's a lot of positioning. There's a lot to think about. Even though you're not doing a ton of actions, you have to get the right businesses tactically to finish your jobs tactically, but you also have to think strategically to get the right turf in future turns. If you win the turf war here, you'd actually put your marker on top of his. At the end of the game, the people who owned that turf the most often will get a $5 bonus for each turf that they own. Ties are broken by who got it last. You'll also get a $5 bonus for every type of job that you finish the most of. So we compare the jobs that we did. So you have to keep track of what other players do. Every job has their own flavor, right? The gun jobs are all, of course, about murdering people. The extortion ones are about manipulating the suitcases, and the green ones are about manipulating actions on the board. So it's obviously paying attention to your opponent really matters, and it does require a fair amount of decision making for a game this size. So a 2-player game you can play about 45 minutes. For 5 players, about 90 minutes.
Okay. And it will be available next year, you told us, so we will see it latest in October Essen, but it will be available before.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And it will be available in German as well.
I actually don't know. I am merely the designer.
All right.
But as you see, right, a big chunk of the game is languageless.
Yeah,
so
it's only the cards. So.
Yeah, only the cards. So we want to make it easy to translate, and we also want to make it as accessible as possible.
All right, great. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And see you latest next year in Essen.
Latest next year?
With a new game.
Very likely.
All right, see you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Rezensionen, Emotionen, Videos bloggen und mal loggen. Seit 10 Jahren spielen Narren, lebt 3-mal hoch, klicken, abbe.